Oh boy. Oh boy. Welcome to Hug Nation Live. It is 9 o'clock in San Diego, California. Looks to be a beautiful day. Birds chirping outside. I am John Halcyon Stin, and this is a daily practice oops, of connecting and sharing gratitude, training our minds to be more aware of the things that are good, the things that we should be grateful for, the reasons to appreciate the gift of life. Good morning, R. Chapman. Hello, Ramen Noodles. Welcome anyone who might be popping in or sticking around. I would love to hear what you are grateful for. I would love to share it with the people who are paying attention, who are coming here with that goal of recalibrating to gratitude, to lifting their baseline appreciation. So we start noticing things like refrigeration. I have the ability to not finish my Indian food last night, put it in the fridge, and I can heat it up later in the microwave because I have electricity that just is on demand. Woo! What are you grateful for? Good morning, Laura Lynn. Good morning, Pierre and Laura. I've got a little slideshow happening next to me. Those are some of the coloring book pages that I sent to the printer yesterday. It just went to Staples, so I'm gonna pick it up today. I've been doing a lot of coloring of I've been buying these books of mandalas to color, and honestly, I don't love them. I mean, I love doing them, but some of the designs are less fun, and the pens that I like to use are certain styles that work better than others, and I've filled a couple books, and so as I was getting ready to buy another coloring book for, 10 bucks, I was like, "Wait, I wonder." I pay for this service of, like, a clip art and things. I'm like, "I wonder if they've got mandalas." I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if I could add some AI drawing things that I've been working on with Lisa and I into the mandala." So now I've got coloring books with Lisa and I. If you've been following along, you know that, I've also this started by making a custom coloring book for Asher over Christmas, and then I made custom coloring books for, a number of friends' kids, and it's just been so much fun. If you're here, say hello. Tell us what you're grateful for, maybe even where you are physically. Laura Lynn, good to see you this morning, and good morning, Gerbot. It was wonderful to see your face yesterday as I popped into Zoom late. I'm glad I was there. Uh, I'm glad it overlapped. I've been really working hard on editing and writing and editing old things that I had a first draft of a memoir, like, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and I've been re-editing it, and, well, I'll get more into that in a second. Laura says, "Getting psyched up to get packing. Got 2 weeks before move out of the house and into the new life off grid. Woo! Brave, inspiring. Thanks for sharing." Gerbot says, "Grateful for good weather for working outside." Personally, for me, like, right now is good weather for working outside, and then maybe as the sun is going down. At least in San Diego, it's been hot lately, like, too hot. Lorla is in Spain. Incredible. Well, hello to you, and I know Pierre, who's just here, is in Amsterdam. I am in San Diego, California. I think I can probably take these coloring book pages down now, right? Yeah, okay. I think you're right. It's funny, I the one of the faces that I was using of Lisa was one that was a little bit more stylized. The one that's on right now, that's got a more recent one, but she said, "Your the picture you're using makes you look older, and the one of me looks younger, and it's kinda weird." So I've been working on it, making it, you know it's a touch. I mean, look, I have learned in my life that if you are going to take a photo or use art of another person, and I don't mean to be sexist, but especially a woman, you wanna err on the side of airbrushed, filtered, you know, you don't wanna give anybody an excuse for them to find fault in themselves. "Oh, do I really have a roll right there? Oh, do I really have wrinkles there? Oh, do I really ooh." Welcome, Jess G. Hi. Gerbot, you shared yesterday, I wonder if you wanna share a little bit today, if you've made anything else, that you got a 3D printer and are already making functional stuff. A part of me is like, "I wanna do that," and then there's another part of me that's like, "Oh my gosh, there are so" like, there's so many things that I need to learn how to use better, like AI. I played you my sci-fi video yesterday, didn't I? Me fighting the Terminator and things? Or not Terminator, but Predator? Julie, nice to see you. Happy Saturday. Welcome Isda Prat and Sabrina. Heinen says, "Hello, and let this Saturday be a space of connection we all deserve." I'm feeling very grateful for my partner, Lisa. I took her to the airport at 6 AM as she is going to visit her friend Angel, an amazing woman and mother and wife and incredible singer, that is recorded with Lisa. And since I've known Lisa, Angel has been, fighting cancer, and it's been just inspiring, but they just she just made the decision that she's gonna stop the treatment. So, Lisa is going to visit to spend one last visit and say goodbye. So, I'm feeling super grateful for her. I'm grateful that Angel is in Lisa's life. I'm grateful to have this time together. It's nice to have the opportunity to have one last visit. It's precious. A friend of mine, it was a public post, so I think I can say this. Uh, Dr. Deb, who is one of the Burning Man elders, this amazing, awesome woman, um, and her partner Brian has been fighting an aggressive cancer, and, uh, she posted yesterday something that just hit me so hard. She said, "You think they're gonna be that you're gonna be together for the rest of your life, but it turns out you're going to be comforting them for the rest of their life." I actually had to stop television last night to tell Lisa that, and because we watched the first episode of the new season of Shrinking. Do you guys watch Shrinking? Oh my this episode was so well written, so good. I laughed out loud. I cried multiple times. So good. If you like Ted Lasso, it's a lot of the same people. Chef's kiss. Uh, hey, Chris. Chris says, "Grateful to have had an immersive experience yesterday, along with a dinner with my partner of 38 years." Ooh, it was part of the dinner? That sounds intriguing. Heinen says, "What? So grateful that John and Gerbach got to see each other in Zoom." If you are unaware, I host a Zoom gathering like this every day at noon, a gratitude circle. Everybody I speak less, a little bit, but everyone shares, like, a minute of something they're grateful for, and we kind of takes no more than 30 minutes, usually less, and, uh, it's incredible. It's a beautiful part of my practice, and the people are wonderful, and Gerbot occasionally graces us and joins us, and so I got to hear his voice and see his face yesterday. Welcome, Jovan and Zule. Gerbot says, "Yes, super grateful for the new 3D printer. Also grateful for my AI assistant that gave me the confidence to make the leap into the printing scene." Welcome, Portugal burners. I need to I gotta admit, I have yet to configure my phone so I can talk to AI. I load up my ChatGPT page and always, but I see, like, in commercials and stuff, people go, "Hey, how come" and I suppose it's not that hard. Anyway, maybe that's next on my list. Maybe once I do that, then it'll start telling me, "Dude, you could totally handle a 3D printer. Hey, will you get a 3D printer and print me some friends? I'm so lonely." Anybody else wanna share some gratitude? I am grateful for a retreat that I've got coming up a week from this weekend, so I will be offline a week from today, Sunday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next week. But if you're in San Diego, it is First Saturdays next weekend. I'm gonna miss it, but it will be a beautiful gathering of being of service. I cannot recommend highly enough having a regular service event on my calendar. I really if you do not have something like that, it is a surprisingly nourishing thing. The event itself is awesome, so try to find something that, you'll enjoy. Don't just, sign up to pick up trash on the side of the road if it doesn't make you feel, like, good about it. But because I it's just part of my life on a monthly basis, except for next month, 'cause we'll be out of town. It just is a part of my self-awareness and my definition of self. So, as I get overwhelmed with all the suffering in the world and all the broken things, I know that I am doing a little bit, never enough, but that just that clear knowledge that I'm not doing nothing makes a difference. So you're always welcome to join for Saturdays in San Diego or something in your neighborhood. Welcome, Rami and Pete. Leslie says, "I am grateful to spend time with my mother, who also has an aggressive form of brain cancer. We're doing puzzles today to work her synapses." Love to you and your mom. When we were in Idlewild coloring, one of Lisa's friends had said that she's gotten really into puzzles. Oh, now I can't remember the phrase she said. It's like, "The refuge of the solvable." Isn't that great? The refuge of the solvable, which is kinda like coloring, like, "Hey, I color in the lines, I I done, oh, that feels good." Or a puzzle, "Oh, it's a there's something needs to be fixed. Ta-da, it's fixed." There's a real, like whereas so many of life tasks are just these ongoing, uncertain ends and deadlines, and that's good enough, and now it's broken again, or is this the right thing to do? I don't know. But do you have tasks or hobbies that give you the refuge of the solvable? We'll finish up in a moment here, have a hug, and then go out into our days. Lisa is gone, so I'm trying to make today another writing day. I've got like 150 pages edited so far, and that's in Google Docs, so I don't know what that transfers to a book. And when I originally did the memoir, I was just trying to remember all the crazy adventures that I had during some of my wilder years. And as I've been editing, there's some great stories, but I'm like, "Ah, that is too explicit." Like, that will change the bar of who can handle this book. So I'm putting those in a separate place. And Lisa's like, "Why don't you make that like an option?" You know? She also said, "Put QR codes." Like, if you have my book Protagonist, every page has a QR code that takes you to a video of the project I'm talking about, or takes you to the source, web page that I'm talking about, and which makes like, "Oh, yeah, I could totally do that for this book." There are there are a number of stories that, as good as they are so much better if you have access to the the video of what I'm talking about. I've got one example. It's a little risque, though. I can do the same thing with the risque things, made it kinda like a, you know, in the afterthoughts. "Yes, I had to take some things out because they're raunchy, but if you wanna read them, send me an email," or something like that. Good morning, Mingle. So nice to have a dose of you to start this day. Actually, my day started at 5:30 when Lisa was in the shower. She set her alarm because she had to wake up to go to the airport, and then she got in the shower. Turns out she just hit snooze, so from the other room, her alarm just kept going on, so I got up. I was gonna get up at 6 anyways. Happy to take her to the airport. Love an opportunity to do something for my beloved. Laura says, "I'm grateful that at nearly 69, the only health conditions I have are Hashimoto's thyroiditis and obesity, and otherwise in good health and stronger than last year due to hip replacement." Um, right on. I can slip into thoughts of frustration about aches and pains and things that don't work as well as they used to. Really trying to substitute in gratitude and the awareness that in 20 years, I'm gonna look back on the state of my body right now with, oh, so much envy and jealousy, and, "Oh, man, I wish I could put on my shoes by myself," or whatever the case may be. So, thank you for your perspective. Hanin says, "I'm grateful this breath we are all taking together as we are all alive in this space together, and so grateful I found this safe space." Thanks, Hanin. Chapman says, "Are you going to publish the memoir?" That's my goal. Yeah. I was gonna do a book of, like, Hug Nation lessons and then maybe the memoir, but now I'm just focused on the memoir and finding that there's plenty of places to drop in the lessons that I've learned along the way. So, yeah, I mean, I'm actually, like, I think it's good enough to get a publisher and not just self-publish it, because I've lived through some interesting things historically. Like, my experiences with the early days of the internet are historically interesting now. My experience with the early internet, my experience with the porn industry online in the early 2000s. My I have these, like, historic chapters. Like, if you've read Tom Robbins' autobiography, Tibetan Peach Pie, he's well, I'm not comparing myself to him. In fact, that it's very discouraging for me if I even consider that. However, his memoir, it's not just about his life, it's like he was there on these incredibly cool frontier, innovative times in history. It's so cool to hear one person's perspective in the middle of those things. Mingo says, "I have gratitude for sleeping 10 hours last night and not feeling guilty about that. My body needs to heal. So while I'm sleeping, I'm actually being very productive. I'm healing." Yes! Love that. Also saying I have gratitude for my dreams. I think I'm pretty funny in waking life, and even in my dreams, I have myself and others laughing. Oh, that's great. Good morning, Kiri. Kiri, I wanted to quote you. You posted, "And suddenly it was more important to be present than it was to be in a rush to get where I was going. And suddenly it was more important to be present than it was to be in a rush to get to where I was going." I was actually just writing about that. Um, there was a time in my life when I lived in the webcam house and we were hosting these events called Globalgasm, and this was 25 years ago. Technology wasn't nearly as good. Streaming was really pushed the limits of the technology. Servers were going down and cameras didn't work. And so as we were getting ready to go live and to this broadcast for this event, I had 2 cameras that weren't working. I'm running around, and my partner at the time, Miss M, she, like, grabbed me by the shoulder, spun me around. She's like, "Hey, the most important role for you right now is to be present. You need to be a channel. If we have some cameras that don't work, that is irrelevant. We can the event can still be beautiful, but if you are caught up in what's wrong and fixing things, none of this is worth doing." I was like, "Fuck yeah." I try to think about that all the time. And I have this a video of myself with Grandpa Caleb. Again, similar time, technology was working, and we're in his room trying to go live, and internet's not working. But I'm recording it on a camcorder behind us. And so, like, I'm on the ground, I'm fiddling things, I'm like, and my grandpa is just, like, chilling going, "Oh, it's all okay. Maybe it'll be just you and me. We can just oh, it's all gonna be just okay." You know? And at the time, I was frustrated with him. I'm like, "You don't understand. It's not gonna work." And then I watched that video with this, like, pang of, like, I should have been present. I wish I would have been present. It's a good ongoing lesson for me. Ah, what's the raunchy story that I was gonna tell? No, maybe I've forgotten it for the best. You are so welcome, Carrie. Carrie says, "I'm grateful I feel inspired today. I've been in the darkness for a few months, and I feel like I am coming out of it just in time with the season of spring." Bloom. Eileen says, "Running is one puzzle piece for myself to embrace my authentic self. Grateful for this body mind to embracing how important it is to me." Respect. I am really focused on increasing the prioritizing my body. You know, I think I still look fine. I'm happy with the way I look, and I have to totally change my whole requirements. Like, I don't care how I look. I want to feel good, and not just now, I wanna feel good in 10 or 20 years. So, made another appointment to do Pilates next week. Any last gratitudes anybody wanna share? Mm. Well, I really appreciate this time together. I appreciate these energetic contributions, the sharing of ourselves, our thoughts, as we get to feel that we're not alone. We are a part of a collective of love ambassadors. Julia says, "Plur, baby." She says, "Caring about and acting on how we're going to feel in 10, 20 years will make us look good." Absolutely. Absolutely. Eric says, "Grateful I could share the ice cream story." Yeah. Ah, well, I am the glowing heart sign was in Amazon, like 25 bucks. I realized I had this love sign forever. Even though I call it pink, I learned through this is actually a purple LED. So I got a purple LED heart, and I think it does a nice balance. And then Grandpa Caleb's shirt has kinda got that purple in it. Ah, wherever you are, let's give ourselves an embrace, feel ourselves being connected and being held by everyone who's here in this moment, everyone who might watch this archive, anyone who's ever been drawn to and experienced this Hug Nation intention beyond time, beyond space, this shared heart. Let's be strengthened by it. Let's feel pride that we are contributing to it. Let's feel supported by it as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of my grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being here, sharing yourself this day. Happy Saturday! Enjoy it. And if anyone's watching this archive is like, man, what else is that guy up to?